If you're thinking of selling your home, there are three very important questions that you need to ask every real estate agent that you interview. Hey guys, this is Tracy Kirkley with Crye-Leike Realtors. So actually there's probably more than three questions that you need to ask, but here are three very important questions. Question number one is actually two-part, and that question is, who is the most likely buyer for my home, and how do you plan to specifically market to find that buyer? In other words, you're trying to find out who that buyer is and what their marketing plan is to locate that buyer so that you can get that buyer in there as quickly as possible, because that's the buyer who's typically going to pay the highest price for your house. All right, question number two would be, how many homes have you actually sold in my local market? Now, just because somebody has sold a ton of homes doesn't mean that they are the best agent. Just because somebody has sold a few homes doesn't mean that they are a bad agent. However, the fact that someone has sold a lot of homes in your current marketplace does indicate that they at least will have a good amount of market knowledge on what is selling, what it takes to get a home sold in that market, what kind of staging might need to be done, and that sort of thing. So that's question number two. Question number three is a little bit more technical, and that question is, what is your list price to sell price ratio? Okay, so if you ask that question on a listing appointment when you're interviewing agents, some of them will actually look at you and not know what you're talking about. So let me explain this to you because it's actually very important. The list price to sell price ratio basically indicates how close they get to the list price. In other words, for instance, in our market here over the last 12 months, the list price to sell price ratio is about 98%. Now that means if you were selling a $100,000 house and you had it listed for $100,000, that on average it would sell for $98,000. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So if their list price to sell price ratio is lower than the market average, then they're probably not very good at negotiating or maybe at pricing their homes. However, if their list price to sell price ratio, for instance, like mine is at 102.7%, then that means they are selling above asking the majority of the time, a good bit above asking, and are a good bit above what the market average is. So you want to look at that very closely, because just because someone is, say, cutting their commission doesn't mean that they're going to get you top dollar for that house, and doesn't mean that you're going to put the most money in your pocket. Your goal, as most of my sellers' goals are typically, is to sell as quickly as you can and for the most money, to put the most amount in your pocket. So hopefully those three questions will help you determine who the best agent is for you to make that happen. All right, again, this is Tracy Kirkley with Crye-Leike. If you've got any questions, or if you'd like to talk to me possibly about helping you with your home, give me a call. My number is 901-210-8045, or you can reach me at tracy@tracykirkley.com. Appreciate it. Have a great day.